unless SRG suddenly whip out some next level MLBB gameplay, then they might just be falling in this very first game. Malaysia versus Indonesia, SRG versus Alter Ego.
Smash them.
Here we go, Alter Ego just took down a Titan, and now next in sight are the Giants here. Welcome everyone to this best of 5, a spot to the grand finals to face off. Rora from the Philippines is on the line, and it starts here. Brigida, how are we feeling? I mean, did you get some time to recalibrate after the last match, and now we jump into this one? Whoa, Hijime.
Okay, I thought we'd be seeing another first blood in less than a minute, but I'm first of all glad to see Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm glad to cast Patrick,
Everyone
but
loves
I'm
it.
very surprised to see it in Rome. And I guess this goes to show how deep Alter Ego and their pockets are in terms of bringing out these picks or these drafts. But then, overall, I just feel like momentum is definitely on their side. This is a draft that will enable them to keep fighting as much as they want. But SRG, just the same, since they have this very tanky lineup, they just have to find the right targets to go for. And I feel like that's why we're seeing those fast rotations come in. But so far, Alter Ego are just quick to reposition.
And Arfi's been playing this matchup all day long. Freya up against Claude, and he seems to always do well on it. And even Nino getting bullied up top a little bit.
Yep.
Doesn't feel too bad because last game saw him behind 2 deaths and still carried.
Yeah, I wonder how this is going to work out too, just because, again, like the panel mentioned, there's basically 3 very comfort picks that we just saw from the last series with Alter Ego. Again, I just feel like I've only seen basically that in the gold lane. It's typically Arfi putting pressure on the Claude as he should, and we know that how that scaling can go here for them. But even so, to see this Leo more into the hands of Yazuke, where he had to go ahead and deal with it from Carl Tizzi in the previous one, you know that they want to go ahead and start things strong. And even for Nino on the CC, I think that was such a big part of that Game 5 in the last series here. So, yeah, if I had to say anything, momentum-wise, Alter Ego Esports should have this with this kind of draft too. I mean, but SRG is going to go claim the turtle.
Nice level 4 over to Cram just in time. A big Raven Spider comes down. Yazuke on the steed, looking for Yumes now. Yumes brought down low. Can Nino get the kill? Yazuke with first blood. So a turtle for a kill. How we feel about that trade?
It feels as if it's still somewhat in favor of Alter Ego, because from the get-go, it didn't seem like they wanted the turtle anyway. They were just standing in the EXP lane. They had their eyes set on Cram. It seems like Cram was the initial target. It just so happened that Yumes was there. He was the more accessible one for them at the moment as SRG transitioned towards potentially considering that fight after the objective. So I feel like this is Alter Ego and their game plan all along, but Arfi?
Nice gank onto Arfi, in comes the Blazing Duet. Arfi in a bad spot, taking out Sekai's, able to get the kill. Look at Alec though, gets a slam. Hijime gets involved as well, doesn't use RWM just yet. Here comes Barbio, the slam through, and they're all caught in the RWM. Yumes trying to do damage on a Hijime as Sekai's goes up against Yazuke. It's a 1v2, he pushes him inside, and down goes Yazuke.
Sekai's is still alive. He's so tanky. Now Arfi trying to join in.
All right, Arfi looking for the battle. Alter Ego decides to back off. It's 2-2.
Okay, that shows us that, yes, they want to go ahead and shut down Arfi from scaling up the way we saw him do previously. They make a play there in the gold lane, but then they also have to answer, and they're still going to stay down here. Now, one of the big things that they can play around for Alter Ego Esports, like we just saw, was that combination of having the real-world manipulation in your favor, and then you kind of just let to go and let loose with the Phantom Steed and everything else. But there's good response from SRG's lineup. They're capable of fighting back if they want to.
A lot of damage onto Yumes. Yumes won't be able to get away from this one. Yazuke with another kill into his pocket. Add that on with the War Axe. He's 3-1-0. It's looking good.
Yeah.
For him.
I was supposed to say, Alter Ego so far have found ways to really deal with Stormy. I think so far, considering the damage profile right now, it's really Stormy who you want to go after at that moment. But now it's even Yumes who seems like a really easy target. Alec, wait.
Alec's taking a lot of damage. There goes the RWM though. Arfi locks onto Cram. Sekai's is able to get the turtle though. Into the backside, Nino looking for damage dealers, but the damage goes all onto Arfi. Graham able to get the kill, but Alter Ego don't want to let it go. Down goes Sekai's. Hijime and Alec are moving forward. Another kill into the hands of Stormy as Yazuke bites one back. It's a 2 for 2.
They just
the turtle still goes to SRG.
They just just really want to keep fighting. That was Alec also burning the flicker just to force that dive under the tier 2, making sure that Yazuke too has company as he goes in for the dive.
There's I don't know, it's like a hidden passive about the SpongeBob and Patrick skin. Like, you just want to fight them. There's something about it, man, and that's what happened. Alec was taking all that damage, and it started up that fight that was chosen by SRG. So, you know, amidst it all, some kills obviously went over to Alter Ego, and they had a good fight there, but SRG still maintains the lead. They do have still some control around the map.
Who got it?
Oh, did he get the orange buff? Yes! Yazuke will be able to get away safely with this. Cram moving on to Hijime. Yume's there as well. Alec looking to join the fray. A lot of damage with a blazing duet. Innocent able to get the kill on a Hijime. Alec's now in trouble. Next on the chopping block, he gets the slam, tries to bring him back, but he's caught in between 4 members. They're gonna jump him. They're gonna pound him down, and now Yazuke's on the run as well as wants to close the distance. Out comes the Phantom Steed. Innocent now getting involved as well as Yazuke picks up Yumes, flickers through, and Nino gets away safely.
Oh my, that was a well-timed entry from Innocent. You saw it. Arfi was nowhere to be found during that instance, so there definitely was an advantage towards SRG. But Yazuke though, the reset and him getting his ultimate for the second time around is still finding something out of that. It's still a really good stat line we're seeing, and he's still ahead of Sakai's.
He wants to take the buff again.
He's gonna take another one here with the pushback onto you. Comes Arfi with the Valkyrie descent. Sakai's gonna be in a lot of trouble here. One more hit and he does go down. Yazuke picks up the kill, and now Yazuke's on the run. Cram able to close the distance though. And now Stormy moving on Arfi. A nice stun onto Alec. The grab, slam. A nice Arfi to catch Stormy and Innocent. But Cram is taking him for a ride. Back onto the tower. Alec finally forced to run off, but Nino's onto the tower. He doesn't care about the shots. He's gonna get the kill. But Innocent now look for the response with Blazing Duet. The Vengeance able to respond back, and we are back down to calm.
Alter Ego wants to fight the Giants, and the Giants will always fight back. Again, all this for the buff pressure in the jungle is what's happening here. Third turtle is up. We'll see if SRG secures this one again, but man, you gotta get up to Alter Ego. The way they like to fight on the map early on, it doesn't matter. They'll take those fights.
And they may have stayed a bit too long there though, because they were able to take away the objective or the buffs from Sakai's, but Sakai's was able to get away. And now it's these 2 marksmen who keep fighting. Hold on.
Big hit on to Cram. Cram's gonna go down. Arfi comes into the backside though. Looking to try to get the final hit. Yume's able to find Yazuke. Nino finds Cram. It's a 1-for-1 and a blazing duet locks on to Hijime. And he does go down. Innocent wants another. He's gonna chase down Innocent. Doesn't have the BMI currently, but it's just a couple more shots. He finally flickers in. 1 more hit, but no! Cram won't go down like this.
But he has to get off, and Innocent's just gonna go again, but you can't chase him down with flying clouds.
Walks into Stormy. Sakai's there as well. Now Nino in a bad spot. Let's get under the base safely. What is going on?
That's the curtain call. He could have reached. He could have reached it. He could have went for the chase, but
he was tied up.
He was tied up.
Tied up by the yo-yo, man. I mean, hey, that's about as good as it will get in those engages. But man, Alter Ego Esports, you know, looking at the items too, falling into place here, you've got to go with some defense, and that's why you got those brute forces built in. Nino has to help Yazuke, especially when they decide to go into these fights again, fighting around the real world manipulation. It does help them kind of lock down the control, but so far, notice how SRG has taken these fights. They also have pretty good defensiveness now too, with the couple chastised pauldrons they have, plus the Dom Ice on Yumes. He picks up his own, so they are going into these fights ready to just kind of brawl it out defensively.
And Alter Ego does not have that just yet. They don't have a direct answer to Innocent, who, compared to what we've seen whenever Arfi on the Freya goes up against the Claude in their previous series against Liquid, seems to be performing much better on the Claude. These early decisions to join the fights, the amount of damage you get to see from him, and that Swift Trinity already completed in 9 minutes. Means so much about how Innocent was able to handle the laning phase.
Well, not only that, but Selangor Red Giants as a whole made a great job at ganking that gold lane to make sure Innocent had a good experience.
You know where that is? Because I see that fight with RP multiple times in the last series. They're like, you know what? If we want to go ahead and have a better chance here, Innocent's got to do his thing, but we also got to allow him to do his thing. And so that one or two times they went down and kind of focused on that to get that kill, or at least to stop RP from bullying the lane early on. That's what helped bring them to this point. Now they've got control around this first Lord here. Alter Ego, though, trying to get a position for this, unless they go for Arfi. Okay.
He's just going to get pushed back. There's the commit, though. Big Brave Spider with a blazing duet from Innocent. Hijume now just trying to get away, but he's going to get chopped down. Yasuke does bring out the Phantom Seed, but at this point, AE just wants to get away free. SRG now looking, pacing. Arfi going to back off. They just want the Lord. Will AE give it to him?
Arfi wasn't the real target. When they saw Arfi and when they felt that SRG might actually go for him, Hijume, the other members were forced to reveal themselves, and unknowingly, Cram was there, ready to jump on them anytime. And that was the perfect cue for Innocent to just use the Blazing Duet at the right moment as well. There was no way Hijume could have gotten out of that, not without the flicker. And now Alter Ego couldn't even contest, but wait.
Big Valkyrie's descent. Arfi finally moves on to Stormy. A couple more shots, but he gets stunned. Wait, the final hit connects. Innocent gonna be pulling up soon, though. Arfi still going strong. Yasuke, the RWM catches two, and that's gonna be it for Cram. Alter Ego Esports always fight back.
They'll take the fight even with a Lord charging toward them. They don't care. They'll go for it. The Purify will not save Stormy.
Yeah, and such a brutal way to deal with Cram, who you saw for how many times in a row now was just able to easily get access to Hijume. But during that moment where it wasn't such a reactive real-world manipulation that you get to see from Hijume, he was being well guarded by the other members of Alter Ego. Surprisingly, they have ways, they have damage to already deal with this guy, and that is something you could also expect from them in the upcoming team fight so long as they're able to set up, but Sakai's.
Nice dodges from Alec and Arfi.
Oh, there's the re-engage.
Does get the grab. Force use a flicker, and comes Cram with a Brave Spider. Innocent gets some more free shots. Barbiel does come out, but AE decides to disengage.
Okay.
All right, they want it, like there was an attempt to set something up. They didn't get the setup they were looking for if you're SRG, and then Alec decided to go ahead and engage. He gets zoned out from his team. Nothing too bad, though, because, again, that one kill doesn't really change the course of the game. They're, at this point, playing into the Lord here in about 1:20.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the itemization and everything else, even the space on the map, it's nearly even, right? 3 turrets are down. Alter Ego's got that. SRG has 3 now as well. So it's more so about these constant fights that we've seen breaking out. How do the adjustments be made here? Again, once we get to some of those defensive items coming into place, that's where you'll see a little more finesse that's needed for the team to have that upper hand. Conceals also are going to be a big part of this.
Yeah, and it's also maybe a Flying Clouds thing where they just constantly find themselves back wherever the team fight was last seen, and they just constantly find ways to start again, which I think has been working really well so far for both of these teams, because it's just really a matter of timing and who gets to force out a fight at the better moment, especially considering now that we're approaching the more important objectives, and the gold lead hasn't really swung significantly in any of these teams' direction so far. It's always been less than 1K. I guess the most significant you could really look at is how Yasuke is already 2K up ahead of Sekai's, but that's a utility you're talking about.
Ooh, Brave Spider comes in. Yu shows up as well. Arfi able to dash away, and this is, I mean, Alter Ego continuously just testing the waters here.
They were basically like, you know what, Lord's coming up, let's not lose anybody in this. They disengaged, they're gonna go ahead and reset. One of the things you're seeing too from Arfi is, you know, now that he's built up, he might be down 1,000 gold against Innocent, but he's really focusing on trying to catch Stormy. I'm not sure if they're gonna get here in time though. Lord goes for a bit of a reset, but they go.
Stun. To the backside, places duet connects onto nobody. Alec gonna get the stun onto 2 in the backside. Arfi tries to disrupt Humes, but is on the run. Cram brought low. Yasuke picks up the kill. Now they're gonna move on to Sakai's. Innocent looking for free shots. Sakai's brought back to the team, and Nino just needs a few more shots. The RWM, the mega kill, and Alter Ego are finding the advantage as we speak.
Okay, Yasuke, another Phantom Steeds trying to chase, but SRG, it's only 3 of them left.
Yeah, they can't contest this. That was a hard fought for the Lord here. They'll be able to grab it for Alter Ego.
You would have thought Crab was in such a perfect position already to start a fight, but once it all broke out, he couldn't find his target. He just wanted to go for Hijume at that moment, but Hijume was able to reposition, get under tier 2, And now Cram finds himself in the middle of 4 members of Alter Ego who he couldn't really just fight against all alone.
You know, we keep seeing Innocent is doing great. He's 5-0-5, but it's so hard to find multiple members with that blazing duet because Alter Ego has such a split up composition.
Yeah.
And everyone has dashes, everyone has kites, unless you hit Alec, who's gonna stun you, and they're able to all kind of hold their own essentially. If they want to go 1v2 somewhere, they can, and at least nobody goes down. So what we saw in that last fight, Innocent Blaze Duet just connects to nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, but also, again, Arfi is doing a great job at trying to go for Stormy, and then the team, SRG, kind of has to deal with that and help Stormy peel. And that's why Cram ended up dying, because he was separated from the team. So that is going to continue to happen for these team fights, where you see that pressure towards that back line here. The Lord charges in.
Cram into the backside with a bravest fighter, goes straight to his death. A Valkyrie Ascent, ready for the engage as Yasuke pounces down onto Sekai's, but a blazing duet in the back line, but it's still just not enough. He has to be on my back. He's able to find Hujume. And now it's a 3v3. SRG defend the towers.
Wow, Innocent threaded the needle there. He was 1 hit away from going down, but able to capitalize a kill. That was enough to keep them in the game. But man, Arfi is a menace on this Freya. He might have had a hard time in the early game, but they're looking to take a base turret here.
Yeah, did use the Valkyrie Descent to get out though. Now he uses his to dash forward.
Pincer onto Yums. Yums brought very low. Nino able to pick up the kill, but now Yasuke has to back up. Arfi may have finally met his match.
Oh!
He goes down with Stormy picking up the kill, but they do break the inhibitor.
Arfi's like, I want this kill. He wanted to kill Innocent, didn't even use the flicker, but he goes down. Ultimately, there's some damage on the turrets of the base of SRG. They lose the bottom turret, but still, nonetheless, they keep things mostly intact. 2 base turrets still up, some key defensive items being picked up as well. Now you've got the immortality in the hands of Yums. And yes, like you mentioned, Trex, one of the hard things about this is Innocent getting value out of the Blazing Duet. He does just pick up the Malefic Gun now, so he's got that Rose Gold and a Win in Nature for defense. Yeah, that's the hard thing, is actually getting use of the damage profile that you have. And that's why the panel mentioned this, that the damage profile of it and making it work is a little finicky, and you just got to be able to pull that off.
So maybe that's why Arfi really wanted to force that, because he knew, I guess, 2 things. He was already full build, and there was no Winter Crown or Wind of Nature for Innocent. So he really wanted to force that first kill, but Cram.
Gonna push the fight, a nice grab onto Cram, but wait a second, Yums is locking onto Arfi. Alter Ego might want to disengage on this one, not try to take the full fight. They're all down to about half health.
Yeah, that's
quite low.
Yeah, it's gonna be enough time for them though to just reset and prep for the upcoming one. They'll be making sure that they take care of the waves though. Fortunately for them, 1 base turret's already down for SRG.
Yeah, they can work this. Lord is up. Going to be started here. It will evolve shortly. Again, Flying Clouds being traditionally one of the maps, if not the longest play time right now throughout M7 is Flying Clouds.
One pack.
So they'll start this up, half health on the Lord. Attraction Pulse thrown out.
Arfi with a Valkyrie Descent onto Sekai's. He's brought down to solo. Arfi is shredding through. In the backside though, Sekai's falls. Cram gonna be the next. Arfi keeps on going. On to the next one, but a blazing duet. Into the backside, Yasuke brought low, but he snipes him out with the sword.
Someone ban this Freya from Arfi.
Why is he still getting his hands on the Freya?
Time after time, Alter Ego break through the base, and it's not going to be enough to stop him here. Waiting for a few more minions, couple more hits, and Alter Ego end game #1.
The momentum is there. We said it for this series. Smile.
When the Valentina's open, they didn't do that in the previous game, but that in itself in M7 feels like a cardinal sin. Welcome to game #2. Alter Ego is leading. Will they go to match point first, or will SRG swing it back? Let's loop back in our casters.
Till the enemy reaches
Coach
the
Zephyr and
battlefield.
Arfi's conversation. Freya? Yeah, Freya.
All troops
Okay.
deployed.
It's happening again. Maybe Innocent
Welcome to
does better this
Mobile
time. I don't think that was the case in the last game, but hey, this might work better. They have a different of a draft, but I still have to lean towards Alter Ego's draft here too. Just when you think you know them, they don't. Maybe that's why they have 3 masks.
Yeah, well, I also feel like they're is somewhat of a clear idea as to why they are trying to stick with the Baksha going up against the Leomord. It's just that execution-wise, Alter Ego tends to get really messy in a good way that they can't really complete the steps that are necessary for us to see what the idea is all about. Although in terms of mobility, it's still definitely going to be there.
Yo, big whiff by Sakai's there. Pops the retry and doesn't even get the camp. He will have it back up before Turtle, but still, the pressure is on, and you can see it in little things like that.
Yeah, they want to go ahead and push a lot of lanes here. A whole lot of concussive blasts here, of course. Again, this is Cram using the Sora and the XP lane with the concussive blast as well instead of the Brave Smite. Now, this is the problem with it. Like we saw on the Swiss stage, man, you know, Nino's got the Valentina with Brave Smite, Festival of Blood, and we saw it before where that Valentina pick that took the Sora ultimates and everything else was the better Sora. You know, it was like cosplaying a better version, and Nino could potentially do that here depending on how this lane breaks out.
Yes.
Not only that, but I have to really commend Alec here. One of the most diverse roamers throughout the course of M7. Probably, he might even have the most unique hero picks himself in the roam specifically, but, you know, because this is not a hero, like Guinevere is not a hero that does too well. I think it had an 18% win rate or so.
Yeah.
But, you know, seeing Nino holding on to that ultimate, Turtle's up, they've got position in favor for them.
Yeah, and coupled with these heroes, right, you could see the synergies come into play, especially with the copied ultimate from Cram that Nino could potentially combo with Alec later on. But speaking of, Alec is low.
Ooh. Fury comes down, a lot of damage on Yasuke. Cram gets first blood. Now they're trying to respond though. A lot of damage on Yumes. Nino able to pick up the kill, but a response back. We're 2.5 minutes in and it's already 3 kills, 4 kills. Make it 5.
Oh, make it more, baby.
Arfi, let's lock on to Sakai's here. Can he get the final shot? Sakai's just trying to get away. One more hit, and Arfi finds it. 4-2, a Turtle into the hands of SRG.
The Turtle not worth it, man. A lot of those kills went over to Alter Ego, and then you have 2 on Arfi now. So, again, they're going to find themselves in the same position as before, but even better of a start for Arfi.
Yeah, we might actually beat Game 1's record of number of kills in whatever number of minutes, because so far it's been action-packed. Even Cram this time around, compared to Game number 1, he's really trying to fight. And that's also mainly because you could say that he is on a Sora. He is the guy that's expected to do that, especially during those first few objective takes that you see. But so far, there's no significant lead just yet between any of these two. Probably the most for Alec, because you get to see him get poked down quite often. And it's not him landing the spatial migrations all the time, but I don't think that's going to be completely necessary, because you could rely on other members of Alter Ego to just follow up, even though you miss.
Oh, the 1v1 and Cram wins it out.
All right, you're not better than me yet, basically, is what Cram said. Interesting that they just kind of battled out there, but that's what to expect. And with this, all right, they keep it together.
Yeah, so far everything's still going good for Alter Ego Esports here, although compared to the past rotations we've seen from them, there hasn't been much towards the top lane. So Innocent and RP, they're still relatively free, but despite that, it's interesting to see that RP is on a 2-0 already.
It's really interesting too with the, you know, every time the Zetian gets picked up, it's not entirely a dead lane in the mid lane, but it's more so like most mages cannot go against the range that the Zetian has over them. So you more so are kind of just stuck there waiting.
Oh, nice flicker with the Violent Requiem and the knockup, and in comes Yasuke, trying to clean things up. Cram is able to get away though. Alter Ego gonna clear the wave and move up onto the Turtle.
Huge for Selangor and Giants. Cram is still alive though without the flicker. Alter Ego.
Gun onto Alec. Sakai's looking for another shot. Alec forced to run away. Now Hijime and Nino on the way. Yasuke does not have the Phantom Steed just yet, but he is still gonna start this Turtle.
Okay, Nino is gonna go take that ultimate, then they just call off the Turtle for now, while they go ahead and reset, grab the buffs that they need, especially for Yasuke. And you notice in the last fight that we saw, Yasuke got blitzed. So at some point, you got to be able to go ahead and maneuver around that for the way that SRG is taking these fights. So look at the control of Alter Ego, man. They pretty much just won that objective by just taking control around it.
Yep, and they will continue to pressure Sakai's.
They got it. Get it. Sakai's is Who did get it? I'm looking for the orange buff right now, and I do not see it. Yasuke pulls up with it, able to get the Violent Requiem, and Yasuke gets the kill. Yums, in the midst of 4 members, can't survive in a double kill. Over to Yasuke.
I guess that confirms Yasuke actually got away with the orange buff. So Sekai's now down 2 deaths and is literally being... Oh, okay, that's a passive from Stormy. They're not gonna finish off that kill, but yeah.
I think it's purple too.
All resources almost gone for you.
Yeah. Oh, Stormy.
Stormy got it.
Oh.
Sorry, I knew Yasuke didn't get it.
Okay.
All right, back to reality.
Well, flicker used. At least it's on SRG side.
Yeah.
Still, nonetheless, they've really got to be able to go ahead and deal with what's being thrown at them. It was great playing around the objective by Alter Ego, but then even when they decided to put pressure on the jungle of SRG, there wasn't much of a response. Even looking at the items, again, they're not really where they need to be in terms of like fighting pressure. You've got a Radiant Armor, a couple leg plates over here across the board for more of the tankier members of SRG. DHS is there for Innocent. Obviously, he's still working on that second item, trying to build up here. But more so, he's just kind of farming up. He doesn't have to do anything fancy until he gets to that point. And as we always say with Claude, that's kind of like that. It's that card that you have in the later portion of the game, the mid game, late game, especially when the Trinity is there. And as long as Innocent can farm up, that's great for him. But more so, like we've seen, when a Freya is across from you, that's not everything, right? And at the same time, Alter Ego continues to build up.
Jermaine just got that Sky Piercer in the way he's been playing. It might be big. The backside, Cram able to get the Shifting Clouds. The Fury comes down and the stun doesn't matter. Sekai's now moving on to Yasuke, but Yasuke's still up. Cram getting low. In comes Arfi, diving on top of Sekai's. Arfi looking for the kill as Cram falls short on the top side of the fight. But in comes the Blazing Duet, and Innocent is immobilized. There's nothing he can do. Yasuke stomps forward.
And they lose 4 members of SRG in that fight. Alter Ego is just making it all work.
Yep, without Stormy there first, it was a massive problem here for SRG. Cram 2 decided to continue what was started. He was split up, he was separated from the rest of the members, but Alter Ego had enough damage to deal with him. Now when they decided to shift, even when Innocent was there, even when there was a decent amount of damage coming in from the Blazing Duet, you know how Alter Ego plays. They're just all over the place, so nowhere is safe, not even with the BMI.
Man, not even, oh no, they're gonna go again.
The lock on. Hijime able to get some nice chip damage and they're all brought back. Yasuke low and Hijime gets the kill on Yums. Alex is trying to get away with the Fury of the Phoenix. Bashes them down in the bottom side. Keeping our eyes on Nino.
Oh!
He finds the kill onto Stormy and it's nothing but Innocent standing.
The fight looked so good for a second for SRG, but they lose 4 again, back to back.
Nino on this Valentina who's, I don't know, he's been using more of the Sora ultimates than Cram has ever did. And we have to take a look at the instant replay to see how things actually broke out. So if you were to focus on Innocent, definitely it looked really okay because it was coupled with the crowd control that Cram was actually able to use on the Sora. But those last minute dodges from the Fury of the Phoenix and this tanky mode that you get to see from Nino in the Shifting Clouds.
That's what I'm saying. That minor adjustment and not getting hit by the Fury of the Phoenix. Oh, Traction Pulse thrown out, man. AE is not letting up at all. They want to go ahead and take the buffs if they can. And I think SRG really wants to keep this side of the jungle.
Oh, big dive from Arfi! And the knockup as well with a Violent Requiem. A beautiful Shifting Clouds comes in. And now members are dropping on each side. Arfi though still standing strong. He takes him down. And Sekai's will be the last to drop. Yasuke with a triple. And Arfi gets thrown the other 2.
Yeah, a couple fell from Alter Ego, but man, oh man. SRG just keeps throwing their bodies into a wall, and that wall is Alter Ego.
And now, how unfortunate is it for SRG that it's Arfi and Yasuke who were still left alive at that moment? No one could hold them down. Who could you expect to actually dish out the crowd control? There was Cram, he was there, but he used majority of it to set up multiple members of Alter Ego, which we thought would already look good for them, but Yasuke and Arfi just walked past all of that.
Oh, another Violent Requiem. But in the backside, Yasuke doesn't care about the bullet.
Whoa!
Face He's gonna smash right through. And a nice RP on the Stormy. There's no escaping back on the other side. Hijime finds Cram. And Sekai's is all alone once again.
Alter Ego has done it time and time again. They'll do it for the third time. They'll make their way to this bottom turret as Yums has to watch.
Gonna force it again. No Holy Shields. They've already taken out the mid and bottom lane. Holy Shields. It's Yums alone.
Alter Ego have been playing too long today, but Innocent's gonna come out. Alter Ego's forced to back off. And Yasuke takes the Lord. First Lord of the game. And Inhibitor's already broken.
Dude, at this point for SRG, I would almost just say, man, like, I mean, think about how many team fights there's been. And I would be thinking, man, we have this, but then all of a sudden we don't. And that's in a weird position to be in because your biggest damage dealer, which is usually the Claude like we mentioned. Whoa, Purify was used, by the way. The Purify is gone now for Innocent, and Lord is making its way down bot.
Yeah.
This is going to be even tougher. He's going to have to rely on some defensive items and fancy footwork to make this work. They're going to go for the base. Holy Shields pop. RP jumping for Yums as that top shield is going to pop as well.
Yeah.
But now with the Lord making its way down bottom, how does SRG defend this? They are 12,000 gold behind, and this has been a dominant game for Alter Ego Esports.
They have range. They could definitely take advantage of that, but not if they're dive like this.
RP once again. And a nice shifting clouds, anything that Cram to do to save the team. But it's not gonna be enough. Yasuke brought low, Stormy able to try to do something. Oh, Pepper still standing! And Nino cleans them up! They lock onto the base and Alter Ego take us to match point!
El Padre! He done.
Or maybe because they might have just drafted something that can force another game and another moment for them to shine. Will Alter Ego sweep SRG here? Or will SRG clap back finally?
All troops deployed.
If you don't ban it out, take it away, right?
Welcome
they
to
finally
Mobile
have
Legends.
the Freya in the hands of Innocent for SRG, but will that be enough? Is that all that was needed? Because this lineup looks different than what we've seen before, but it could be what is needed to extend the series here.
Yep, we're seeing another Suyo. We saw one yesterday too, and the entire idea behind it. My only worry is that Alter Ego has drafted a lineup that could really thrive in extended team fights. And if the Suyo doesn't find the immediate or sudden explosive engages or pickups that he wants, then it might be easier for Alter Ego to turn things around.
Yeah, part of that too is, again, this is a very different, I would say, pacing or tempo for Alter Ego Esports than what we've seen previously, aside from, you know, Yozuka here on the Leomord, which we've seen so much of. And that's to kind of be expected, man. The XP laners just duking it out. Flicker actually used from Nino to not get caught out there, and Petrify as well from Cram.
Yeah, on paper though, there are really so many good answers from Alter Ego in their draft towards the lineup of SRG. We did mention a couple, the Esmeralda being...
Ties. Skies fires back though. Yasuke brought low. Both teams gonna disengage. Testing the waters at this point.
Okay, still none of these two junglers will go down just yet, but going back, yeah, we're seeing them handling the lanes pretty well. Another advantage for Alter Ego, and I think this is one of the key factors we've seen from them in all of the previous games where they've been winning out majority of the early stages of the game. So long as Nino, although he did get to use the flicker earlier on, essentially what you just need to do as the Euro does is just stand over in front of your opponents. Okay,
Alec is there, but yeah, no kick on the Cho just yet. So no Way of the Dragon, no level 4. Just kind of, if you notice, both teams just kind of getting some battle spells out if they can. A couple more used from Alter Ego, but this fight could break out.
Yeah, it does come down. Yasuke brings out the Phantom Steed, but the Black Dragon is able to zone him away. Sakai's getting a free turtle here unless something can be done. No, it can't. Alter Ego decides to go back to the jungle.
That's usually what a Yuzhong will be able to provide for your team, especially around that first turtle. That Black Dragon form is enough to kind of keep everyone else at bay especially if they don't really have the timings or the level 4s they're looking for. So that basically essentially a free turtle for SRG to work with. Nothing too big though, as they just go back to the rotations. Now, also looking at the lineup for SRG, Stormy getting this Jushin pick was great. Really helps work together with having Yums on the hill, though, like we've seen, especially on this dangerous grass map here.
Yeah, and really good rotation so far. It's nice to see that the Freya right now is in the hands of Innocent, but it's not just him on the Freya and somewhat winning the lane. There's also a bit more attention that's put towards the gold lane here, potentially looking to really shut down the sides that we mentioned for Alter Ego, starting with the gold lane. And this is going to be such a crucial part because an Esmeralda who doesn't really get the early snowball wouldn't really pose such a threat against this lineup of SRG who has so many ways and such high mobility.
It'll be interesting to see how Arfi plays this Esmeralda, because in their matchup against TL earlier on this evening, it didn't work too well for Oheb. Yasuke going to go in.
Phantom Seed does come out, able to lock on to Sakai's. The nice kick lands on a Yums, and a beautiful RWN, and Nino finds Sakai's in the bottom side. He tries to flicker, but there's no escape. Back in the mid lane though, Yasuke and Alec have gone down. SRG making it 2 for 1.
Yeah, I feel like Alec really wanted to land the kick on Sakai's there. Oh wait, Harvey!
Under the tower! Harvey able to get the falling star moon, will survive.
But here comes Stormy. I'm not sure if they're still going to be able to pressure Arfi.
He can clear this.
He'll be okay.
Okay, it was all right. So yeah, again, these team fights breaking out objectives and everything else, you're seeing how this push and pull works, but with the lineup for SRG, they've got a bit of the upper hand because of just how things kind of fall into place. It was great that Nino was able to capitalize a kill and catch, utilizing his flicker, but still, you're seeing how difficult it is for them to actually enter these objectives, enter the fight, especially when Cram goes forward with the Black Dragon form.
Yeah, Cram is a lot more proactive right now, as Valkyrie said though, used by Innocent. Another 1v1.
Arfi.
They're just slapboxing at this point. No, she eats shield, she makes shield, Alec goes down. This guy's able to get the kill. Doom's gonna get pushed back. Yasuke has a Phantom Steed, but at this point he just wants to get away. A nice defensive RWM. Nino jumps back in, but just to get Vision and Alter Ego, give up the turtle.
That's great for SRG to go ahead and fight for the turtle. They do end up getting themselves secured. Yasuke just wanted to go grab his buff, and they're kind of having a hard time also dealing with the Suyo. This is a much better time for Sakai's here to kind of be able to weave in and out of these fights, utilizing that kit from Suyo, and it's really helping avoid some of this setup potential. Alec.
Nice way of the dragon, but a big petrify on Yasuke. He's unable to engage. Phantom Seed finally does come out, but he's too low to help Alex. Cram, 2-0 and 2.
SRG are not giving any breathing room for Alter Ego. Not even opportunities for Nino to just scout out the members, nor Yasuke to confidently use the Phantom Steed as he wants. Hijume too, he's been constantly forced to use the real world manipulation around this area, not in any way trying to set up for the objectives, because SRG have been taking control of majority of it, and this shutdown that they've been able to accomplish towards Alec is huge.
Weller is ready, and in comes Sakai's Arfi, able to flick away to safety. But Yasuke gets pulled in. He's got the Phantom Seed out. One more shot, but Sky's able to dash back. Innocent now, trying to lock on, but Yasuke still escapes with a beautiful way of the dragon from Alex to Shunpo. And Alter Ego escapes death by a hair.
Alter Ego just isn't dying. What is going on here? I mean, great way to kind of avoid that, because that should have been a couple kills over to SRG. It should have converted to a turret though. So they will get something. They continue to build the lead that they have, nearing the 3,000 mark.
Yeah, this is the Alter Ego who you get to see not be as successful in terms of forcing the fights just yet. Even at that moment, the Way of the Dragon was used defensively just to make sure that they wouldn't be able to accomplish the chase towards Yasuke anymore now that Innocent is able to join the fights. However, things are looking a bit too good for SRG.
Yeah, when you look at this lineup again, the hard part for Alec, as you see him 0-3, is this attempt to kick the right target. But like, who is the right target essentially going to be over here? Especially with Stormy, he's rocking the Purify, so mainly he's going to be okay. But even so, it's just been really difficult for him to actually get this kick. Oh, Alec.
There's no escape from that one. Cram able to find Alec. RWM comes out defensively once again to try to keep SRG away. Yasuke with a Phantom Steed backs off. Arfi though, able to zone away Innocent. Man, that RDM just is continuously used defensively.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to really launch an attack at any point now.
And at the same exact spot for 3 times already, where it's just moments before the turtle, and that everyone from SRG just gets to escape. So now they clearly have the upper hand. They'll take another turret away from Alter Ego.
A lot of damage on a Nino. He might not be able to escape this one. Finally, Stormy gets the kill. Hijume just trying to clear the wave at this point.
They've just kind of shut down Alter Ego Esports' plan. And a lot of it, like I said, has been on the whims of Alec being shut down. Arfi is able to tank up a lot of damage at this point so far, but definitely still needs to build up these items defensively because Alec can't do it all, man. And as you just saw from Nino, if Nino gets overloaded, even on Uranus, he's going to get taken out. So they have to go ahead and play catch up. I mean, think about there's been nothing fancy about this game's early game, but you're looking at a 4K gold lead for SRG. They've gotten a couple turrets down. They've put themselves in the best position possible to contest and most likely take that first Lord unless something goes terribly wrong in that fight.
Yeah, Yume's also picking up the Radiant Armor, means that he'll be able to tank a lot more of the damage either from Arfi or even Hijume at this point, who honestly always gets chased down, always or SRG is just always making sure that she feels a bit more hesitant to use the real-world manipulation. I'm hoping they find a bit of an opening in this upcoming fight because so far SRG, Graham starting things off all the time with the Black Dragon form just makes it impossible for them.
Yeah, Nino popping the Consecrate. Arfi's still trying to hold this down. You know they got 20 seconds for the objective to come up, and it's SRG looking for a potential pick-off or fight that they can force Alter Ego into. And, you know, just again, the nature of this game, the pacing of it, very different from the previous 2 here.
You know, this is what happens when both teams draft 3 bulky boys, 2 tanky jungles, or 2 bulky jungles, and a female mage. Basically, they drafted the little girl as your mage.
I mean,
basically what we're looking at. I mean, if nobody goes down, this is such a different game than what we've been watching.
Checks, I was following along, man, until that. So, hey, the Lord, though, secured by Sakai's.
Okay. Oh, boundary descent. Coming in by Nino. Oh, on Nino. Okay.
All right, AE gonna back off. Lord casually goes to SRG at that point, and that's what I mean, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody's going down at 6-1, and now Nino's bulky, Arfi's bulky, Graham's bulky, Innocent's bulky. Neither team has a marksman. Like, how are any of these guys gonna kill any of these 4 heroes at this point? I got a feeling we might be in for a long one.
I was waiting for the Stormy shout-out, but...
Big Stormy shout-out, hey. Right now, with that Lord making its way down bot, I don't know if Alter Ego Esports is going to be in the best position to contest this, but they're going to try to go for a kill on Cram.
Oh, a lot of damage onto Cram. Yakuza might finally be able to pick one up. Sakai's goes down. Black Dragon to run away, but Yasuke snipe him off the map. What? With a long shot spear of the sword. What? On the mid side though, able to take the tier 3. A nice falling star moon on to Innocent, but AE got what they wanted. 2 for 0 trade, and now down to the bot lane to stop the Lord.
But you see the targeting, right? You see who Yazuka clearly wants.
Another one for Yumes.
3 men onto Yumes. Yumes caught in the midst. Will be able to get away. They know Stormy's coming, so they want to back up. Yazuke wants to get back to base. Alec gets pulled back.
I mean, if you're SRG, would you even expect that Alter Ego would have wanted to pick a fight, knowing fully well that there's a Lord marching down bottom and that they only left Nino and Hijume to take care of it? So Alter Ego still have these very weird but surprisingly working off timings for them when they decided to go for that engage. Yazuke clearly just wanted that kill on Sekai's and he found it.
This is the surprising thing here. I mean, despite everything that's happened in the pretty much the majority of the game, Yazuke is fine. Like, itemization-wise, he's pretty much keeping up with Sekai's. He's going to try to fight for his purple buff. He should be able to get it with the help of Nino, so that's there. And also across the board, really, they're not that far behind. I mean, look at this Lord advantage off of that Lord. They really didn't get that much, which is surprising again. And maybe a big part of that is because, like you mentioned, Trex, they just don't have the, you know, those marksmen that you're used to seeing. You're kind of, you got a similar lineup in a way where it's like, yeah, you just have to kind of throw each other's bodies at each other and hope that you come out with a win in that because of the the bulkiness, you know, if that's what we're going to go ahead and call it, like these tankier heroes and setting things up around a Cho, for example, is your main component to make this work for now. And a lot of your damage, if it's not going to be able to be capitalized in a real-world manipulation with Hijime, it's Yazuke to do it. And like we've seen before with the Leomords countless times throughout the knockouts, unfortunately, he's had a little bit of a more difficult time approaching those fights just because of the way that SRG's lineup works. You can see this now too. Trinity achieved here for Innocent. I mean, Innocent has just been doing his thing, farming up 0-0-0 right now on the Freya. But now he's going to be kind of a nuisance to deal with. He's going to be able to pop off the damage towards that backline, especially on Hijime if he goes here. So the fight for this Lord starting up. Again, a little bit of an awkward positioning for both teams to try to execute this.
Yeah, maybe we will be looking at whether or not Alec does find the right opening too, and how are they gonna link up together. Oh, he misses the Phantom Steam.
RBL!
Huge Black Dragon does come out. They're gonna try to zone Yazuke away. Sakai's able to get the Lord. Arfi on the run, Cram able to get the knock up. But in comes Yooms and Alec. Nice kick on a Sakai's, but it's more to just disengage. Alec will go down, but Yazuke has the steed finally back. RWM to catch two, and Arfi's brought low, but Yazuke brings two back into the RWM, and Cram might not be able to get away from this one. Yazuke dashes back, Stormy gets the kill.
All right, now it's gonna be Innocent going for the chase. It's Nino who he's after. Arfi will have to disengage because Nino, only with a flicker. Oh, actually still survived, but not for long.
Now it's just Arfi against four. He might be bulky, but it might be too much. He's pulled back into the midst. It's Sakai's gets it. They might be able to try to force this in here.
Oh man, it's only Alec against all of SRG essentially. Can he stop him?
Nice Black Dragon. Wave still has to come out, but Alec goes down, and SRG will lock on the base and get one step closer to evening the score.
I'm leaning a little bit alter ego. I don't know why, there's just something in the air. Maybe I'm just getting convinced by the crowd. Well, we have one more game. Let's see if this is going to be it or if we're going to go all the way. Nice Utrecht and bring it up to tell the story.
Till the enemy reaches the
I'll tell you what's in the air.
Smash
it's
them.
a fanny. And that might be one of the integral parts to make this draft work if they want to end it here for Alter Ego. Can SRG extend the series? Well, they've got an interesting draft to possibly make that happen. This is, again, very different from what we saw in the last series and then the last couple games, but it could work here.
Yep, and we're seeing Nino on another unique hero pick. It's gonna be the Ruby in his hands this time. But I think going back to the entire conversation where we left off, or where the panelists left off about the Lilia, it's I guess there could be a lot of arguments regarding or surrounding this hero. Because if you were to look at the lineup of Alter Ego Esports, even in terms of range, right? Hijime being Hijime, I could really expect the burst damage to come through, the constant pokes to at least make Stormy feel a bit more awkward, and the range coupled with the Granger, I feel like could deal with a lot of the pressure that Stormy could do, but that doesn't take away the fact that, yeah, it could pose a threat towards the front lines, mainly Alec and Nino.
Okay, looking at the emblems here. Again, I like that we also get in Game 4 of these more aggressive, faster-paced junglers that are going to be picked up. The only thing is for Yazuke, he's got to be, he's got to be a little more careful of how, like, not getting behind, purple buff being taken from him, pressured there if he can. Yeah, you've got a little defensiveness now for Innocent, rolling with his tenacity, just to have a little more durability on this Claude because of the fact that also, yeah, you have a Fanny across from you. So definitely one of those things. And yeah, I think even for myself here, I didn't expect the Lilia to come through this draft. I was almost expecting the Lunox there, but for the most part, maybe Stormy's idea is also just, as long as he can avoid getting set up.
A lot of damage from Yazuke, already picking up the first blood.
Ouch.
Flying through the air.
Okay, yeah. I guess one way around it could be when Stormy feels confident enough to just keep throwing out the glooms and then using the black shoes to get out, and then there's really decent cleanup you could expect from Sekai's and Innocent, like the dives, but the thing is, Alter Ego, they're the ones starting the fights.
Okay, Yazuke putting the pressure there.
Whoa.
So they're fine, but here's the thing, Turtle, pretty much for the clear taking for SRG, as they should be able to secure it. They have control of this area. Yazuke at no angle there to go forward, but because of the first blood, you know, that's something that SRG is going to want to be wary of. The scaling that can happen here for Yasuke. We know he likes the Fanny. He can play it really well. We've seen Fanny pop up now from Swiss stages up to this point.
Yep.
And it has been able to snowball some of these lineups, some of these compositions, and get wins pretty quickly. And so for SRG, they've got to be cautious of that. And I think, again, this lineup does allow them to...
Ooh!
Man.
On a Uranus!
That's what I was talking about, man. The snowball potential is huge.
Yeah.
On the Fanny.
The amount of hold you see from Alter Ego works so well for them. It buys enough time for heroes like, or players like Yasuke to actually dish out the damage. But on the other hand, SRG, who could you actually expect to hold down Yasuke? Because I feel like this is another recurring problem that we see constantly in the previous games. It was once a problem for Arfi on the Freya, now he's not. It's a fatty on Yasuke, but the cables don't land.
Alec.
A little bit of damage on Alec. Yasuke locking on to Innocent, but Yasuke's in a bad spot now.
No energy.
The cutthroat, but he still falls. Humes able to pick up the kill.
I'm not sure what the plan was there. Yasuke was going to maybe just get some information. I don't think he actually meant to go for a steal in the purple.
He did miss a couple cables before
He missed the cables, and now this is what I'm talking about. The pressure on his purple buff for him not to get it.
Is he still... Who did end up getting that?
It's a Sky.
Guys,
Yeah.
he didn't use Retro, but still was able to secure it.
Oh.
You know, this is the, I guess, the risk reward, right, of picking up the Fanny. You miss a couple cables early on, too. That's going to set you back a bit, but nonetheless, they still hold on to a lead. Guys jumping in the mid.
Guys, now comes Glorious Pathway. Electrifying Beats does go off, but he's not able to connect onto any. You know, yes, you missed the purple buff, but you said it right. Alter Ego still holds a gold lead, and the leveling between Sakai's and Yasuko is still even.
Yeah.
Oh,
Humes
mid
flickered
again?
for that too, by the way.
Made. Barely able to get away there, but Crimp, Thunder gets the kill. Nino gonna try to slow him down. Comes Yasuke, looking for the cutthroat, able to get it and get the kill. So 1-for-1, but I do like the kill going into the hands of Yasuke there.
They're trading kills for the objectives right now. Alec.
Alec won't be able to get away from this.
All right. Alec goes down. Not sure if that was actually necessary either, but that's what's happening, right? They're trading objectives. They're getting kills, and a lot of that damage that's coming out from Yasuke he's got the Blade of Hepsies. He's got to make sure he locks in his buff, though. He needs to be able to get that point, and SRG's not letting up.
Big feather airstrike, Black Shoes still takes a shot to the face. You know, but the thing is this is what Alter Ego wants.
Yeah.
This is what they want every time. They want to bring out the worst in you and make you fight them head on. That's how they always get you. And if SRG continues to play this way, it might just fall into Alter Ego's hands.
Yeah, they're gonna focus on the gold lane though. It's clear that they really want Innocent to have the advantage, and so far they're actually making it work. There's been teamfight participation for Innocent here, 2 out of 3 kills. He's a level ahead of RP, and he hasn't been caught by Yasuke. That was the only instance Yasuke would have actually taken out Innocent.
Yep.
But I guess it was a miscalculation on his part because he already missed a couple cables. He did lack some energy. He could have walked away from the threat of 3 members of SRG, but he didn't. Now he is starting to feel the pressure from SRG just the same. RP already losing his tier 1 turret allows for so much room for SRG to group up together, and that's what you don't want if you're Yasuke looking for some early pickoffs in the stages of the game.
At some point, too, Nino's Ruby pick might play a part of these objectives, these fights that they're looking for. Now, the difficulty of that is you're working against 2 Purifies, of course, which we expect Cram should be able to get away. I mean, he is on the Uranus. Nino's making his way up top. Oh, they follow through.
I'm offended. What's the Destinata on to Cram, and Cram goes down along with the feathered airstrike. Alter Ego Esports find pickoffs.
Right on cue. As I was saying, Nino's Ruby is always going to come into play, and it does that. Now Turtle's up. This might be actually a Turtle that can be contested and secured up by Alter Ego Esports. For SRG, they're still going and maintaining most of this. Again, for Innocent to continue to build up, he's going to be fine. Humes will go ahead and rotate down for this, as they do want to fight for this last Turtle. Guys in position.
There, I'm offended on to 2. Nino still on the run though. Blazing Duet in the backside. Innocent picks up Nino. Alec gonna be next. Feathered airstrike though. Lands on a Humes, but Humes able to flicker, and here comes Cram for Hijume once again.
Oh, Yakuze, he swings around for Sakai's.
He's looking for a target, is able to get away. Sakai's doesn't have the electrifying beats, isn't going to fully commit, decides to just go for the turtle instead.
Yeah, no one expected that entry from Sekai's. Or maybe not even that entry from Graham when he did get to finish off the kill on Hijume under that tier 1. So Alter Ego Esports may have found themselves a bit too deep, trying to set up somehow for that upcoming objective right there. But when it gets a bit too split up, especially in scenarios like this, they aren't able to coordinate, you don't get to maximize the amount of lockdowns you have, then it's not going to be as easy for Yazuke either.
Yeah, Cram doing work on the Ernest. He's finding the right targets, pushing them away from the fights that are breaking out, and that's part of the plan for SRG. They continue to do that. Malefic Roar picked up here now for Yazuke, so he's been able to do a lot of damage just with the Blade of Hepsies. Now that he's got a Malefic Roar, that's great for him to build into, but also at the same time, Sky Piercer and the Hunter Strike for Arfi, and Arfi, if he starts to build up the stacks, then you have more of that pressure where Yazuke just kind of weaves in and out, popping off tons of damage, and then Arfi scales up and is able to capitalize on him or Hijume.
Yeah, it's interesting though. I feel like majority of the attention from Alter Ego has been towards Crab in the EXP lane. Oh
Damage
no!
on Alec. Vitalize does come in. They'll be okay. They're going to re-engage now. Hijume wants to join in on the fight. Yazuke comes swinging in as well. Sekai's unable to get away with an airstrike. Arfi gets the kill and gets his first stack on to that Sky Piercer.
There's a stack for him. They'll clear out the mid lane. SRG is really putting their pedal to the gas here. But the problem is, again, if they get punished like that and then they start to give over stacks, now Malefic Roar 2 for Arfi, you're going to put yourself in a bad position very quickly. This is not a massive lead or anything that they're working with. And Lord's up in about 10 seconds. You can start to see our Alter Ego start to put some pressure on some of these tier 1 turrets. They want to open up the map before these objectives.
Something that's been huge for Alter Ego here, they continue to send Yasuke up to the XP lane, giving Nino the ability to be part of these fights. Because like you said, you know, Nino's going to be huge in a lot of these fights. He's the one that can catch them off guard when Sekai's tries to dive.
Yeah, so that's why they've been putting so much of their attention on the EXP lane. Whoa!
Ooh, I'm offended. Black Shoe's forced out very early. In comes Innocent, getting a couple free shots onto Alex. He wants to try to push it, but he BMI's back. The disengage from SRG, and Lord is back up.
And they get to see that Yazuke is working on the turret down bottom though. Doom's also trying to make sure he is within sight. For me?
It's just his own. It's just his own. Nino able to lock up 3 members. Electrifying Beats pops a little bit early for SRG, and now they are not going to be able to contest this quickly.
They wanted to potentially make a move on Stormy because they knew the Black Shoes was used earlier and that Purify, but it's back up. Neither team wanting to commit to the Lord just yet. And they don't really have the space to work with. They want to go ahead and get what they can. Battle spells down if they can. Again, this is very close. It's a very close game right now, especially in terms of itemization. So right now, it's more about trying to get a numbers advantage if they can. If they can get a pick off, that's great, but it's just push and pull. It's SRG that has the control of the Lord right now, though.
Yeah, you really wouldn't want to try and take down this hero. It's always
and I'm offended from Nino! The storm is here, but a blazing duel locks on to Hijume, and Hijume falls! And the backside, Yasuke able to pick up Innocent. It's a gold laner for gold laner, but also a mage from Alter Ego, so SRG still controls the Lord.
Okay, so honestly, when it was just Cram standing in front, then Nino didn't really want to throw out anything just yet, but he found 2 members, and I think that was the perfect opportunity to at least try and set something up. Okay, so now...
You saw it coming, Brig.
I didn't.
Blinked. What happened? What happened?
Just Stormy got deleted, man. Yazuke is going to be a problem. 6-1, he's been a problem all game. Yums will go ahead and pop off a little bit of damage, but I mean, just with what Yazuke has in terms of items, he can deal with some of this. So positioning now for Alter Ego Esports around this Lord. While Yazuke still on the bottom side, mid lane.
Looking at damage on a Sakai, so he tries to lock onto Arfi. Arfi gets the outplay! With the help of his team, a quick poke in the face from Alec, and there's no way out.
And even Hijume, he just flew out of the entire team fight. Just when we thought he could have been the first to fall. Now that's 2 consecutive crucial members of SRG going down.
Yeah, it's the team fights just are not going the way of SRG right now, and I feel like they've really lost grip of this game just in a couple minutes. They still have control. They can still win a fight without Sakai.
A lot of damage. Innocent tries to escape. Yasuke unable to connect. Cram able to zone away Arfi. But Nino still holds down the Lord.
They reset the Lord here.
Back on the map. Nino wants to keep it going. Yasuke
One reset.
and he's able to take it. But now they've got to get away safely. A big arm offended on the 2 and Nino falls. Alec going to fall next.
Oh, he's gonna chase Yasuke down too. I'm not sure if Sakai's gonna catch him. Okay, barely, but man, they gave the call to just secure the Lord at any cost. They made it happen, but the cost was 3 deaths for Alter Ego.
Yup. Oh, now Crab. Okay, that was close. Okay.
Yasuke.
Okay, maybe.
It does have a flicker.
Yeah. So still, I'd say it's a really commendable call for Alter Ego to actually go and win that objective, despite them not being successful enough in taking out Innocent. Because I think that's where we get to see the entire Tenacity Fighter Emblem combination in action. He was a bit too tanky for Yasuke to finish off the kill. And even then, SRG, they were still trying to fight. But Alter Ego successful with the Lord at least. But this might not, or they might not get much out of it, considering the way that the map is looking right now.
Okay, right now they're looking for a potential kill. Nino might have gone for the pole, doesn't go for it. They maintain the tier 2 turret there up top. But SRG has been playing the map as well. They'll deal with that Lord that was pushing down bot. They continue to go ahead and just get reset here. So it's back to it. They built themselves a bit of a lead, and they've got pretty good durability on this lineup. The same can be said for Alter Ego Esports though, and that's where, again, now you're this portion of the game where it's like, all right, the gold laners, it's different, right? When you don't have the fire gold lane, it's like you now have this range accessible to the teams here. You can see that, again, itemization is nearly identical. A bit of a lead for Innocent, but the damage that he's able to pump out with the Blazing Duet is what is a huge threat in comparison for Arfi. You know, again, he hasn't built up a ton of stacks or anything. But he does have itemization on this Granger to deal with some of these this lineup from SRG.
Yeah, this is still, though, Arfi's, or one of Arfi's key heroes. We saw it once, or when he was able to get his hands on this, he did a phenomenal performance, and now he's not as behind. You saw that outplay he was able to accomplish against Sakai's earlier too, and now with a magic blade at least, could be a bit more safe.
The bait was real though. Skies gets pulled back in with I'm offended. Nino in a little bit of trouble, but they should be okay. Free shots on a Cram from Arfi. In comes Yasuke dashing back to the base. The black shoes pops from Stormy, and both teams disengage.
A lot of battle spells were used from Alter Ego. I didn't know if they try to go ahead and go with it. I'm offended full, but they're going to force a fight potentially again.
Yasuke didn't get his purple buff.
No purple buff for Yasuke. That means
before the Lord.
Energy and Lord up in 10 seconds.
Okay. So far, at least, the waves are being managed really well for Alter Ego here. Not entirely the opposite lane, though. They are yet to take away that tier 1 up top. So Alter Ego, the way things are looking right now, especially considering their composition, it's just really Yasuke who you would expect to separate from the rest of the team. But Crab will show up here too.
I love Crab. He's just like, I'm going to pop the Consecrate. I'm going to do my thing. I have an eye on Yasuke. Yeah. Lord is up, and it's actually going to be started by SRG. They're blitzing it. Ooh. And because of that, again, Cram has been everywhere from start to finish up to this point. And he's providing so much information and such a front line for SRG. So with that, they get themselves an easy Lord.
Oh, conceal?
Conceal's used.
A lot of damage on the Yumes. Innocent comes in. Yasuke takes a couple shots to the face. With this Lord, I don't think Alter Ego's going down just yet, as long as they don't make any big mistakes. But there's a high probability of maybe more than one inhibitor dropping.
Yeah, gotta be careful too. There's a flicker, I'm offended combo that's brewing if ever they get to successfully clear everything and SRG decide to overstay. But SRG are fully aware of that idea. They aren't actually showing themselves or making themselves available or within reach.
Again, this is a very difficult lineup to just force yourself into the base, right? They've got great, they've got crowd control, they got great clear, especially with a Farsa. I mean, Yasuke can help clear as well, and then Arfi just sitting in the back. He's got a rose gold now, a little bit of defense. He picked up a Sea Halberd too. Alec went Radiant Armor, got the Domize, chastised Pauldron, so defensively, you know, they are able to go ahead and fight. And I think, too, again, Nino, a big pull could change the course of that, so they can actually defend their base, probably even another Lord, and that's why SRG wants to take the discipline route. They can't overstep, even though they have this advantage. If they get punished, there's potential for things to turn in favor of Alter Ego Esports. So it's better if SRG takes this lead that they have, and they just go with the fundamentals, right? Wait for that Lord to come up. If they try to make a response or a concealed play, which is most likely going to come from Alter Ego Esports, then it gives them that advantage to stay alive. Because these feathered airstrikes, you can see it takes Innocent down to half.
Yeah.
So they really have to be careful how they approach it.
It's also looking like a Winter Crown for Sekai's as his last item. So there could be a lot more opportunities to bait out resources for Alter Ego, or just stand there and throw out the electrifying beats while everyone just scrambles to keep themselves safe from the damage that you could actually throw out. Wait.
Yumes?
I'm offended onto Humes. RP had to get a couple more shots. Purple buff is up for Yasuke.
Oh, and they use the
Gonna
feather
need this
airstrike.
before the Lord.
Feather airstrike used up. Look at this.
Bush.
They're just going to go put pressure here.
Oh. That's a
Very
really-
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
That's all part of the plan, though. Like, we've seen this many times, and that's what I was saying when we jumped into this game. With a Fanny on your composition, you know that there's going to be pressure for the purple. If you can't get it, well, here's a fight.
Humes onto Arfi. Arfi's not going to be able to get away from this one. Able to looking for the better airstrike in response to this with a blazing duet.
Okay.
Oh! Goes down, and Yasuke hasn't even joined in the fight.
Oh, Wind of Nature.
Still doesn't have the energy. Wind of Nature comes through. On the boss side, Cram finally falls. 2 members drop from Selangor Red Giants. And Alter Ego find a moment.
The Lord is up, though. Does
Yeah.
SRG even want to do this without Sekai's? They have to reset.
That footwork we saw from RP.
I thought for sure he was gone.
Yeah.
Call that an athletic flicker, by the way. Every time we see that, that is the move right there.
Oh.
He just repurchased. I think he flipped one of his items. I think he buys Rose Gold, and he just bought back, what's it called? Stormy, though, making her way in. This should be a good Lord for Alter Ego.
Wow, a team fight that was started up by SRG. Like I was saying before the Lord broke out, they had them sandwiched in, and Alter Ego responded.
Yeah.
And that's Yosuke without a purple buff earlier.
And on top of that, I feel like, okay, that's...
Can we respect the fact that Arfi sold Skypiercer,
Yeah,
just rebought it again,
that's why it's...
got boots, he has no boots now. That sidestep.
Yeah, that it was, again, there was a bit of help from the Glorious Pathway too, and of course the other members of Alter Ego jumping in, but it was really, a lot of the footwork was just all RP at that moment. It was also the Rose Gold also keeping him a bit more safe, but ultimately, without them being able to take down RP and with Nino coming in clutch to make sure that Sekai's was gone, Alter Ego now, this is a huge opportunity. It's an evolved Lord.
Evolved Lord up top, SRG on the back foot. Yosuke, all right, putting the pressure. How does SRG respond to this? Nino up front, pulls.
Sended on to Cram. Cram taking too much damage. And Hijume. And look at Arfi. Just like last time. Conceal play. Alter Ego breaking through, and the damage is just too much. Innocent comes in, but another I'm offended. Hijume in the backside. The Lord is on the base. Arfi looking for another target. Arfi's down though, shut down from Hijume. They can't quite break through.
They take out a base turret up top and bot. And now one base turret stands for SRG to stay alive.
Alec has the Glorious Pathway.
Don't have Arfi, but Hijume's gonna reposition. There is a feathered airstrike in the kit. Sekai's gets pulled back in. Nino able to lock him down.
Innocent doesn't have Blazing Duet just yet. Can he defend this? Now he's got it.
Blazing Duet comes in, but it's still not enough damage. One cannon minion on the base. All they gotta do is get a couple more hits. Cram tries to defend. Another wave on the boss side.
He's gonna hold the minions.
Cram's doing everything he can. He gets pulled back in. Some doubted. Some said they'd never make it this far. But today your eyes are on Alter Ego. as they take all of the hearts of Indonesia with them to the M7 Grand Finals.